Welcome to JC Stocks and Markets podcast for February 20th, 2025. I'm JC, the one and only. I've been investing in the stock market for 40 plus years. Every other week I publish a new idea on YouTube regarding stocks or ETF picks that I research. I usually do this on every other Saturday. I share this because I'm always researching new investment ideas. My intentions with these podcasts is to share my thoughts and opinions on stock and ETF picks with an emphasis on dividend-paying securities. I just want to share investment ideas so that you and I can maybe make a buck. I'm not doing this for money from anyone. I'm just sharing ideas. The opinions shared here are my own, and they're just that, opinions. I invest in many of the stocks and ETFs that are featured in these podcasts. I don't have an investment in this one directly, but I kind of like it, and I'm looking at it a little bit. Disclaimer, do your due diligence before investing in anything, stocks, land, anything. With that, let's go make some money. Stock I want to talk about this week is Eversource Energy. It's a public utility holding company, and they basically deliver energy in the northeast of the U.S. They have electric distribution, electric transmission, natural gas distribution, and some water distribution. They also are involved in some solar activities. Slide here, as you can see, they handle a lot of utilities in the Northeast, the largest in the New England region. Here's some of the stats. Basically, they got 10,000 employees. They've got a $24 billion market cap and total assets of $59 billion. Next slide I want to show you about Eversource is really some of the basics. And as you can see in the upper right, it's a horrible chart. But the earnings are growing at about 5% for the next 2 years. The earnings per share is really about $4.56. I crossed out what was listed there. And their dividend and yield is about 5%, about $3 per year, or about 75 cents per quarter. And right now it's company's at about $60 a share. Target's about 70, but you can see this thing was close to $100 per share about 4 or 5 years ago. One thing I like about Eversource is it's really just a steady company. Boring is good, I guess. It's had a steady dividend growth. It was 10 cents a share, and it's risen to 72 cents a share since the records I've seen from 1999. PE ratio is low at about 15. And right now you can see the share price. I noted that it's dropped 33% in 4 years. That's hard to know when that price will stop falling. It's got a 5% revenue and earnings growth, which is good for a utility. And the dividends payout is about 2/3 of earnings per share. So I think that's pretty healthy in terms of the dividend payout ratio. Now, yes, Eversource is pretty boring, right? I mean, it's a utility, and you can see the chart is horrible. But this last slide I'm showing you here is it looks like it's building a base in terms of share price between $54 and $69 per share. If it breaks out above that $69 mark, it could be headed upward much higher. For me, I've got time and I've got my money invested right now. But if this thing dropped down to about the $54 a share mark, I would seriously look at investing in Eversource Energy. At that point, your yield is about 5.6%, and it's going to continue rising, and their earnings per share and revenues are growing. To me, it's a pretty good chart, pretty good play, pretty boring. But if you're looking for some steady income, Eversource could be a place to go, and you might get some alpha out of it, especially if you play your stock investment right in Eversource. I didn't go into too much detail. One thing I would tell you to do if you're really interested in Eversource is go to their website. It has tons of information on all their assets, their breakup of their client base and their revenue base. and their growth potentials in their presentations as well as in their financials. I suggest you go there and read any and all of that information. With that, Eversource Energy, JC Stocks and Markets podcast, looked at it. You know, it might be one for you. It might be an anchor in your portfolio one of these days. Do your due diligence. Check it out. If you like it, great. I hope you got something out of the podcast. If not, maybe it gave you information or ideas to look into other utilities. With that, the intro and outro song is by a band that I used to play in, Just One Goat. It's a song called She's the One. I wrote it, the band and I recorded it. They did the magic. They were excellent musicians. I appreciate you listening to the podcast. Happy investing. And again, do your due diligence. We'll see you next time. JC Stocks and Markets podcast. Bye now.
Beautiful, but I know my way back home. A loving girl is physical, but I never have to roam. Well, she's always there for me. It's simple, can't you see? She's the one. Oh, she's the one. Everything is magical, even when she's not around. No, it's not that radical, I just know what I have found. Well, she's always there for me. It's simple, can't you see? She's the one. Oh, she's the one. She's making my life so much stronger. God, let me stay just a little bit longer. She's the one. Yeah, she's the one. Wasted all this time. She's the one. Oh, she's the one.